Hi, Don Peterson here. Thanks for coming back to the Swing Factory for another tip of the day. I often get asked, Don, how do you take the club away? What muscle? Do you take it back with your left hand? Do you take it back with your left arm? Do you take it back with your left shoulder? Do I take it back with my right hand? There's a lot of different ways that you could possibly take the club away. And I always look back and I try to make comparisons. And I remember years ago when I started playing, there was the one-piece takeaway. And the one-piece takeaway was kind of a triangle between your shoulders and then your arms. So you've got the triangle here, and you would take the club back in what they would consider one piece, and then you always wanted to keep it one piece going through as well. And I like that analogy, except for one thing. It made you think of one piece again, and I rather think of it as every piece takeaway. And so I kind of coined that term, every piece takeaway. And if you look at simple things like pulling a boat motor or a lawnmower, we can all relate to that. And if I reached in and grabbed the handle and I pulled really hard with just my arm, I might be able to pull it and start it, but I don't know. It'd be a lot harder than if I used both arms and both hands, leaned forward, put pressure in my front leg, and then leaned back, thrust my whole body weight back, and as I'm going backwards, thrusting my body weight backwards, using my legs and my arms and pulling that motor, you'll find that it's a much more efficient way to move something, to pull that handle. So let's make that same analogy with the golf swing. If I want to take the club back, would it be easier for me to take it back with one muscle, one group of muscles, just my arm, take it back with just my left shoulder? Or would it be smart for me to move it with every muscle simultaneously, moving in the same direction? And I think what happens is people would say, well, that's a lot of motion. In reality, it's like less motion because it's more efficient. You're using every muscle less and creating a nice, smooth motion. So I think you'll see this, study some of the great swings on tour. If you look at Anthony Kim, you'll see the same motion. As he takes the club back, there's the little rocking or sending of the weight into the right side, and once you do that, it gets very solid. So try to take the club back with every muscle, an every piece takeaway instead of a one piece takeaway. I think you'll feel your weight transfer, you'll feel loading, you'll feel a lot of things that you hadn't felt before. Be really good for your swing. And then, of course, the same would be true on the downswing. Why bring it down with one muscle pulling, your arms pulling, or something like that? If you get in the right position at the top, I truly believe that you should be able to just explode through the golf ball, every muscle, slinging that club right back through, using the ground as your leverage, your core muscles, and explode through the golf ball for a lot more power. Thanks. I hope you enjoyed the tip. Come back and see us again.